Hi guys, welcome back to Creation Lab Soapery channel. I'm going to be making another soap today. Of course, this is a different week because we're going to be posting one video a week. But we're going to be making a D&D inspired soap. So these soaps will be released in April. We are doing a fantasy theme soap, and we posted on our Facebook website a question with, what do you think about when you think of fantasy? As well as some people that are in our soap circle had gave us their things. Earlier I did a Pokemon soap. We're hoping to see if that one turns out right. I kind of was working with new techniques, but I think either way, I made that one for my grandson Jaden, and he's gonna love it either way. So this one we're gonna be doing, and we will be putting D&D dice, and I'm not gonna be putting D20s on all the top of them. Originally I kind of thought about doing that, but I don't have 9 ones, and so these are just a few. We've got green, we got gray, we got red, we got all kinds of really pretty clickety clacks. So I'm gonna kind of probably just reach my hand into this bag once we're to that point, and whatever I get is gonna go wherever it goes and kind of leave it to chance, which is kind of what D&D is. Now, of course, D&D, for those of you know, which is also referred to as Dungeons and Dragons, it's a role-playing game where you kind of have your stats and everything that is in a book. Some people do something called a homebrew. I won't get in a ton of that, but basically you use your imagination and you go on an adventure. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with regular, what is known as normal D&D. I've seen things from a Disney princess one to, they actually have one that is put out by the creators of D&D, the original ones. I can't remember what they're called, so forgive me. My boyfriend would know, but I don't necessarily. But anyway, that one would, they have a Rick and Morty one, a Stranger Things. So really, it's a world that opens up to everything. And I am kind of laughing at the whole thing that we are doing this, because right now we're in the middle of a quarantine, as I'm sure y'all know. Like, you have to be probably living in a very small cave to know about what's going on in today's world. But this would be definitely something. You just need a pen and paper, some dice, and you're good to go. We are going to be putting, after we make this one and we cut it, I'm going to put one on there with a 20. So for those that you don't know, 20 is the best you can roll on it. That's what you want to do. That looks like a 7. So I'm glad there's a natty 1. It's probably on this side. That's the worst you can roll. And so it's a game of chance, and that's why we're going to do it that way. I have a fragrance that changes a little bit. Well, one of them. I made a unique blend, and it's in here. And I mean, when I say unique, I put a little bit of flame tree, which kind of has like really spicy notes, etc., and scent of incense. But I put a teeny bit, but that changed it. But I put vanilla color stabilizer in it too. I added Dragon Moon and Dragon Blood, a little bit of Dragon Blood because it is an accelerator, and I'm hoping I don't regret it. But that again added the spiciness, and something called Cavalier, and Cavalier has a little bit of the zest and citrusy smell, so it kind of brings it up a little bit. I think the blend smells really good together. Other than a teeny, and we're talking a teeny bit of the ones that will accelerate. The rest of them say they behave beautifully. I think, in fact, Cavalier says it might slow down. I guess we'll see. So we're hoping that we're going to have it slow down, because I'm going to try and do a swirl, a drop swirl, and that will be of a red, orange, and yellow, kind of resembling flames. Whether it looks, it's probably not going to look like flames, but I just want those fire colors to be in there. And the top, we're going to use a black oxide to make black. and that will be the top. So all those dice that I put on top are gonna really stick out. And then afterwards, we're gonna put the D20 on front, probably with the gold, or maybe a darker color. I haven't decided, it depends on what those colors underneath are. But without talking too much more, let's get to it. So I'm gonna change the angle just a little bit, so bear with me. We're gonna, so you can get a little bit clearer picture. There we go, we should be good there. All right, so we have our oils, and I'm working with a 50 ounce. And so that means, for those of you that have been here before, we're gonna be doing the piping topping. These are all cold to room temperatures. So I'm gonna put my lye solution with my water in here, and it's just our normal. And then we're gonna blend very lightly. All right. And that's just me mixing by hand more so. We're gonna be doing more when we get it in the others, so that should be good enough for now. I'll stick this to the side. All right, and so I'm gonna just start by doing, I bought 4, since we got 4 colors, and we're just gonna be starting to just pour off like we normally do. And I'll just go and see where it goes for each one and how far it goes. I might have to make adjustments if I guessed wrong on one or the other. And see, and this one is probably gonna be piping. And then we'll put a little bit in here, a little bit more in here. And then we're gonna scrape out all the soapy goodness. It's amazing because like you think, well, there's nothing coming, but when you scrape, there's like, look at all this. There's all that still in there. All right. So, I am gonna put my one that I'm planning for piping to the side. And we're gonna grab out, this is my little bucket of my spoons. All right, and we'll start with this one. So this one is by, I think, all of my orange, yellow, and that are all by Nurture Soap. So we're gonna start with Firefly Mica. I have to always sit there and pause when I say Nurture Soaps because I always get Nurture Soaps and Nature's Garden mixed up. So, so I'm not just making a soap that is for D&D. I've actually played D&D. I didn't ever before I met my boyfriend. And it was a big passion of his, and you know how it always goes. You want them to do some of the things you like, and they want you to try some of the things they like. And so that's how we got started. And at first, me and him butt heads a little bit on some things because I had a hard time understanding in that. And he learned to work with me, and also because I think things completely different than what most of the people do. He's like, I guess it's good to be odd sometimes because I got creativity here. Mango Tango. But now we've actually got 2 different games going, and one of them I play my favorite character, which is Lily Ninx. She's a wizard. She's a full-blown elf, and she's starting to get pretty powerful. And then I have another one because when Eberron came out, you know, we wanted to try that, but the world that we built around Lily, I mean, with D&D you can make anything work, but we kind of wanted to start out new. And I'm actually, instead of playing a girl, I'm playing a guy. And instead of a really cute character, well, I wouldn't say necessarily like to each his own what you think's cute, but I'm playing a Dragonborn, and I wrote a really cool story just because, like, Raymond, which that's my boyfriend's name, Raymond loves backstories and stuff, and so I wrote it and put it in his lunchbox for him, and he loves it. He just eats out that stuff, so but you know, and it's a guy and starting all over, and he is I'm a ranger, that's right, I'm a ranger, and we've only played a couple of sessions. I'm starting all over and learning things, but I've had a couple of epic things. All right, so I'm gonna be splitting this fragrance oil up. I might see how well, and I'm gonna wait to put the fragrance oil into the piping and that till we do this. Let's see. And then that rest I'm gonna save for that. I'm gonna see how mixing by hand goes, and then we'll decide. I mean, I know I'll need to do a little bit of blending because I did such a light blending, I don't want to have any separation. But if it's a little bit compared to a lot, you know, that would just make me happy. So, because I still want it swirly, and so far it's looking pretty good. All right, and so you'd see that with the yellow, and so let's work our magic, see if that orange wants to behave for us too. And hopefully that the orange turns the color that I want. And I'm gonna scrape the sides, and so far so good. And I've had before where it looked really good, and it was like, oh, and I felt overly confident that, okay, this is not gonna accelerate. And then like literally you set, and a minute later you went back to it, and it was getting stiff already. So that is why we're waiting that on our piping. I'm also could be doing the opposite. And this is not like the really red mica. I kind of wanted one that was had a deeper tone to it, and I felt like this one did. And this was my red obsession, and I am pretty happy with that color. All right, so I'm gonna put this to the side, and we're gonna start in our yellow and just give it a teeny whirl just to make sure it's completely mixed together. And I'm gonna do it, I got 2 buttons on here, and I'm gonna do it on the lower speed. Okay, and I feel like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then we'll go to the orange, as I'm blocking you out of the camera. All right. I'll give that a little scrape. Okay. So how are you guys doing with quarantines? I imagine I'll post this video and you'll still be in quarantines. I'm gonna start by just going down and then just mixing it. I may do a little swirl with the spoon, we'll see. But this seems like it's pretty good. And we're just gonna do the technique until it starts thickening up. That always changes it, where we just go back and forth. I did a little bit too much over there, but honestly, it's not gonna matter. So maybe I'll start to try here and then just do that. Hopefully it looks okay. You never know, you get these ideas in your brain and you're like, oh, let's do that. Actually, I can't say that this was completely my idea all by myself, because I think Raymond said fire. It makes sense. Dragons, fire, fires and torches, you go down the dungeons, all kinds of different things. So, sorry, the people in the other room, the children that are adult children, or we're all bunkered down as a family, you know how it is. So unlike before, when you're all like, okay, I'll do this soap when nobody's home, you just do the soap. And it's stiffening up a little bit. I'm sure you can see that. That's okay. It's still really, really good consistency. But it's not gonna hit in the middle as much by doing that. So I am gonna do a little swirl inside of it. Let's see, like already right there. We're gonna plop it, see. We'll scrape that and the rest in a minute. Let's get our orange plopped in, get a majority. Blink. I am really got a mess going on here. See, my counterparts are right though. One thing I've got a problem with is I don't necessarily love to clean, but I love the clean house, and so I know that the end result of cleaning ends up in me being happy. So I end up doing a lot of cleaning, and I love to do the Grove. I'm just gonna do like so that it kind of pierces through. I don't know if this techniques does anything, but we'll see. And then I'm just gonna work a little bit to move it, but not to muddy it too much. So then I'm gonna do the scrape as much as I can. Plop it on top. You know, get some of that soapy goodness in there. And then we'll do a tap down. There's a lot more in the orange than there was the red. Oh my goodness, there we go. The only thing I must say is I don't like dishes. And I don't like cooking by myself. And so I know that's like, well, what does that mean? When me and my boyfriend cook together, I love it. I don't know why, and he's good and we work together as a team, and you know, we started doing that, and because, you know, I shouldn't be doing all the cooking because we're both working. You know, I work this thing and then we have our jobs. So I'm gonna take the end of this and kind of swirl a little bit so those yellows, and do kind of like, you know, it smells really good. So if I were to best describe, get those air bubbles out, this fragrance oil, I would say that it would definitely be neutral, but it definitely, because of the spiciness, could be more in favor for guys. I mean, there are some girls, I don't know about you, but I like floral and citrus the most, but it's not always about me, so. All right, well, hopefully we didn't make a wrong decision on letting that sit too long. My thing wants to fall. We're gonna mix this up by hand again, like the other one. Those citrus notes, or those spicy notes, are really good. Let's see if it's black. I might. So, I don't know if you can see, I mean, it kind of does. No, actually, I think it's good enough. I don't want to put too much black oxide in it. The gray, it's kind of got a slighter, more of a hue of a gray, but I think it's okay. We'll see how that goes. And so. No, it's black now that it's mixed. And I may regret this, or maybe not, because I put them away. I was thinking about adding some more spiciness to it to stiffen it up. But this one did, so that one should do fine too, stiffen up. And so we'll see. I'll scrape that out as I flop everywhere. You didn't see that. Just ignore the quirkiness. We're all gonna get really weird this time of year. I think I might though just still grab, if I can find it real quick, the right one. Dragon's blood. So I'm gonna see how that is. Okay, and I'm gonna put a little bit more. So we're gonna do like that much more. And I'm gonna stir it in. Hopefully I don't regret it. Oh, there, yeah, I feel that. So you see that is still quite runny. So we're gonna do a little bit more blending, and hopefully we don't have to do a part 2. Sometimes we have to do that so you don't have to wait too long. Okay, now I'm seeing it starting to go. We are working at room temperature, it's almost always. Maybe even a little cooler than I normally do because it's a little colder today, so kind of just let it set to get to the temperature that's in there. All right, let's see. So still too runny for piping, so we'll kind of see what we can do. So I got my piping bag set here. Did I show you a close-up of that? Look at that. So, to be honest, this soap and my last soap, I was like, I want to put glitter on. But I'm like, I think with this soap, a lot of the guys might like it. So I chose not to. But I really wanted to put hollow glitter on it. I mean, this glitter is so gorgeous. And I've seen there's a bunch of different ones from a bunch of different places, I know. Know what I'm gonna do to start out with? Well, no. We're getting there though. I feel though like if I put it in my bag, it'd just go. So we'll see, it should work a little bit. But, you know, when I seen the different ones, and I got one from, I think it was Wholesale Supplies Plus, I thought it was pretty interesting. Oh, we're starting to get there. So, I'll tell you, Dragon Blood, so I'm starting to write these little things and stuff. So, some of the scent notes is night blooming flowers. I don't exactly know what a night blooming flower smells like, but that's what it says, and it's kind of cool. Or this is for Dragon Moon, not Dragon Blood. And so it has wood, Spanish moss, and herbs. So then the Cavalier has spice, cedarwood, bergamot, and zest. The Flame Tree has lemongrass, ginger, orange blossom, and I'm not too sure. Dragon's blood, patchouli, amber, incense, vanilla, citrus. So it's kind of citrusy, light florals, but not really anything bad. So we're almost there. I'm gonna turn from the bottom so that it's not getting. All right, I think we can put it in our piping bag. When you say a little prayer, please don't eat my words. I think we're ready. It's gonna be a little loose at first, but the very bottom one's okay. The bottom little layer's okay. And so I'll just see if I can scrape this all out in one go. That would be awesome. Another reason why we need it to be a little set is we want them to hold those dice. They're made out of plastic and they're not so heavy, but they're heavy enough. It's definitely, well, I guess like if you were to compare them to your embeds, it's about the same. Side note, really unrelated, but I have to just say because it was exciting. Me and Melanie, who is the other owner of our creation lab, we like to call ourselves the creators, but anyway, she and I are gonna start trying, I'm gonna change my gloves out. We're gonna try out some resin work, and we're gonna make, well, we're gonna be making a few different things, and that, like, I wanna do bookmarks and that, but we're gonna try At least I'm gonna try, because it's more my obsession, which is I love the dice. But to make my own D&D dice. And I'm gonna be doing things like alcohol, inks in them, which makes a really pretty effect. Here's the thing, is you can watch tutorials of all kinds of stuff with resin that you can do. It's amazing, the versatility of it is on TikTok, YouTube, you know, all the things that we live and breathe by, the things that were, most of us, I don't want to say all of us, because I know some of us don't like social media, but I think those guys are probably not on my YouTube channel. So, okay, let me see, centered and see what we can do. Let's try little runny still. There's 1, 2, yeah, it still is. I have to be very careful, because if I squeeze too hard, I can tell a lot will come out. But we're just gonna do that, and we're gonna cover it up. We did some weird ways of putting those colors in, so we're gonna see if it looks like fire. Hopefully it does. You know, if you were to do a whole entire theme for D&D, I mean, you can go on forever. We talked about some stuff, and I decided to do it with the dice and that, to be highlighting that. But you can do a bard, which would be a singer, and you can do where they, you know, guitars, musical notes. You can do a wizard. I mean, anybody knows Harry Potter can kind of know those kinds of things. All right, I'm gonna lay this down. Could try, and now that it's less full, to scrape downward. But you can also do by dragons and fairies and trolls and gnomes and, you know, things like that. You know, could do by elements. So, you know, fire, you can do water, you can do earth, you know. For me, I would do a lot of green stuff, you know. But, you know, you're really not completely, you're unlimited with what you can do with things. With wind, not entirely sure how you would do that. I mean, other than, okay, how about this? If you did a wind, you use like a clean breeze scent or something called like that. That would be awesome. I think, you know, you can do, you know, there's a ton of different things. You can even do ones with the different types of weapons. There's a long sword. There's battle axes. There's bows, little daggers. There's a spell. I don't know how you do a spell, but you could do a spell. Let's see if I can go do a little bit deeper. Make it sure it's, go one more, use it up. All right, I think that I'm pretty happy with. We're not done. We gotta do the clickety clacks. Okay, so this one is obviously more me, less Melanie. Oh yeah, we were gonna do it by chance. So let me do this again. All right, first one on top. This is a D6. I'm gonna put it on to there. And I'm gonna do the tops and go from there so I can kind of get my spacings. Try and not get two at a time like that time. Right there's one of the percentiles. And I have a mold that, of course, I didn't remember to make sure it has lines. So we're gonna guess. A D20. And this one's green. Another green. if I really got these ones funky, we will, green again. What can I say? I will use my single bar cutter, so, but I think I'm pretty close to what I got. A blue. I'm getting all the big ones. Oh, said that and that's what I grabbed. The gold, yellow. 3, 6. Might have to adjust a little bit this D20 over here. That's okay, that's the way it works sometimes. I'm wanting this to be as close as possible, but not, we'll be crazy cutting it. All right, it's hard because my fingers kind of feel shapes. Ooh, we got a pearl one. And last is a red. Okay, now, so everybody will get a total of 3 dice, you know, just to add it to your collection or whatever. If you have D&D, you know that sometimes you might be missing dice. But after I'm done, especially because the fact that I'm putting these that are embeds into it, I will make sure I spray it really good with rubbing alcohol. So if you do something like that, this is plastic, not soap too, make sure you do that rubbing alcohol. Oh, that one's the first gray one. Another gray one. Some of them I got 2 D6s, some of them I got every one of them's different. I'll move that a little bit over. There we go. Same thing with there. Trying some of them to kind of put it so I can see that it would cut smoothly. Oh, it's our second purple. All right, I'm gonna just touch them in a little bit. Probably work a little bit with them off camera so we don't make you here forever. But there it is. Soap, and that, it won't take you guys long to get your soap, your dice off your soap. But anyway, it's a really good one. So this is part of, as I said, our fantasy month, and these will be in the store on the end of April. We'll put them on the store whether or not we can ship them, because you just never know. But I figured use quarantine time to continue, which is just do what it's supposed to do, and then maybe do some extra things like keep up on my inventory and start organization. That's what we need, is more organization. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, and I know you're way down there, but anyway, thank you for watching, and like, subscribe. Feel free to comment. Follow us on Facebook. Our store on Etsy, I can't form words, it's late tonight, is Our Creation Lab. Thank you so much, and you guys have a good day and stay safe.